Well, was it hard for you to date after you got out
I was seeing my husband when I got in, so.
He was letting you get blasted like this?
Yeah.
No, Candace, what the heck? That's an actual cuckold, though.
No, a cuckold would be him watching it and getting off.
Well, I'm sure he saw your tapes. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think so.
So you just
like he's watched some of them now.
So he's a cuckold. What?
It's different because like there's a sense of like impotency that is paired with cuckolding. Like it's an actual fetish. He doesn't have that fetish.
Are you married to Stephen Bonnell? He goes by Destiny. Do you know who that is?
I love Destiny.
I know. It makes sense.
Love Destiny.
We have a Destiny stan, and of course she's married to a guy, a cuckold. Oh my gosh.
He's not a cuckold.
Candace, but what do you mean? He's seeing you get blasted, doggy style, in all these vulnerable positions. Is he not worried about your health and safety? Because
you get tested. And my health is fine. I mean,
your health looks very healthy.
I've been out longer than I was in, but I mean, you get tested more than the average person by a long shot. It's like every 2 weeks.
Well, you know, who is this? I used to know a girl that was, what was her name? Gosh, I can't think of her. I just met her at the Comedy Store, and she was actually nice. I became like, I think Instagram friends with her years ago. But she just died of like an alcohol overdose, and she's like somebody that I had met. But there's a bunch of adult film actresses dying. Mm-hmm. Have you seen all that?
I saw that. It was like during in January.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4.
Fentanyl. A lot of fentanyl.
Yeah, and I think there's one that's brain dead. So, I mean, that's not good that there's like overabundance of girls that are dying.
Right, but there's so many elements that are happening with that. And you can't sit there and berate someone for a decision that you don't agree with, say that they're now an unworthy person that can't participate in civilized society, and try to take every opportunity away from them. For me, like when I got out, it was like, how dare you do anything else? So you can only do this one thing that we tell you that you can't do. But now you can only do this one thing because you made a bad decision. So you have all of this pressure, and then you aren't really allowed to grow as a person.
So you admitted to bad decision?
Everyone makes bad decisions.
I make them every day, but I'm saying, do it. Are you saying being a porn star is a bad decision?
No, not necessarily. I think for some people it was, and for me, like I am so grateful because it made me into the person that I am, and I don't know where I'd be if I didn't take that path.
Yeah, but you're so well spoken. You're so smart.
There are a lot of smart women in that industry.
No,
yes,
there
there
not.
are.
If you're
yes,
a porn
there
star,
are.
No, you're not, because you're using your brain to suck it. I mean, what do you mean?
So if you have a wife, though, that's a stay-at-home mom and she's filthy in bed, that equates to her intelligence and her capabilities?
Yeah, but being filthy in bed is different than having a guy blast you on camera for millions of people to see.
I guess like the issue is the commodification, right? That's the issue. Because like, are we judging like sluts, like quote sluts that just?
I judge sluts every day. I'm like, damn, look at that thong. She's a slut.
Yeah, but would you? That's a logical fallacy, though. So like, you're making all of these assumptions just because you don't agree with her sexual behavior.
Well, I mean, I don't even disagree with it. I'm just calling it balls and strikes. You know what I mean? Like a umpire, you know? Like if a girl has a bunch of cleavage going on and her thong sticking out, I'm like, she's probably a slut. I mean, you know, I'm not
talking about the slut part. I'm saying like equating her being a slut to being incompetent.
Yeah, I know. I guess there can be smart sluts, Kamala Harris, right?
Well.
You know she gave Willie Brown
I have heard, yeah.
BJ.
Yeah, I've heard.
She was in a throuple with Montel. Speaking of throuples, you've been in a throuple, kind of.
I've been in well, it's not really a throuple.
Well,
it's not relationship. That's the thing, too. It's like you're making a product.
Okay, and I'm not even trying to cut you off, but you had 10 regular guys that you saw. Your husband wouldn't be jealous of that list? Because, like, obviously you probably have, you're saying you don't have that emotional connection, but he has to feel like, oh, why is she always going with Big Dick Daryl or whatever their name? I don't know their
Most of them are married.
Okay, that's even weirder to me. I don't know how you guys are married doing this. You talk about the jealous gene. I'm jealous. Like, my girlfriend, sometimes she wears too tight of yoga pants to Pilates. And I'm like, put on a freaking hijab, please, when you go out there.
You know what? And if those are your rules for the relationship, then find someone that likes those rules. You know what I mean?
So could you mind saying, and I know we're talking about your personal life, we don't have to just beat you up about your personal life, but what are the rules? Like, is your husband allowed to go and do the same thing?
Yeah, he was, for sure. Because
was he an adult worker?
No, he was a regular guy.
So you're telling me, Candace, I hate to call you out, but there's no way you're not jealous if he took a girl.
No, I was, but it was something I had to work on. Like, I mean, I was shooting for a few years. So that's why I'm saying, like, as crazy as that decision is, and I know that it is, I'm not denying that that's not an extreme decision to go into the industry.
That's extreme as it gets.
No, I totally agree with you. But I think that I was wildly jealous, like to a point where it was like toxic.
Okay, time out, Candace. This is a contradiction alert.
No, it's
You're
not.
like, you were just saying that, jealousy is an emotion that we need to get under control.
I'm a completely different person than
but if
before
your
I got
gut
in.
is telling you, I don't want my husband.
It's not gut. I would say for me, it's like a insecure attachment that was doing that. So like you have your avoidant, and then you have your anxious attachment, and you have secure attachment. So it's like.
This sounds too confusing. I mean,
I thought I was the dumb one.
I'm the dumb one. I'm an idiot. But I still just think it's crazy, though, that you felt jealous about it. You did not like your husband.
It wasn't fair. It wouldn't be fair. And like, this is what I saw. This is what I thought.
Are you a Libra? Because I'm a Libra.
No, I'm a Gemini.
Okay. Well, I mean.
This is what I thought was like really hypocritical, is what I saw when I first got into the industry. And I was like doing really soft stuff, like solo and girl stuff. It was the women that were shooting were like, this is only work. So they would berate their partner, like husband, boyfriend, whatever, and say, you have no right to be jealous or mad because this is just work, and you better stay at home and not do anything. That would be more in line with a cuck. And I was like, that's not fair, that doesn't work. And I saw those relationships implode. So I said, if we are gonna have any shot at making this work, it has to be the same rules for both of us. Yeah. And that was the hardest thing that I've ever done, because again, I was toxically jealous.
Well, wouldn't you just rather be like, hey, hon, I don't want you blasting other chicks? I mean, I just
no, because it wouldn't be. I didn't want to be a hypocrite.
But this is another thing, and one of the reasons why I bring up Libra, it's like, I do want things to be fair, but life is also not fair.
For sure.
Right? I mean, that's just like the hard reality. So if like you had this feeling, I guess maybe you would feel selfish, but it just kills me to hear you say that you didn't like your husband sleeping with other people. So I imagine that he probably has the same feeling, because obviously your husband loves you. You obviously love each other.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't think that affects the love just a little bit?
I think it can. It depends on what you do with it. So, like, you can get down to the first principles of your jealousy and, again, your anxiety, your avoidance. Am I scared of losing the person? Is there evidence that any of this is justified, or is this, like the way I was raised, is this the cultural beliefs? Is this my dad left when I was early? Like,
are you going to raise your kids? Are you going to encourage them to be an open marriage?
I'm not going to encourage them to be anything but what they are.
Would you want your kids to go into the adult entertainment industry?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
That kind of says a lot, right?
Well, no, yes, it does, for sure, right? And I think that if you raise a kid in such a way that you are like so present, and like you are encouraging their curiosities, and you are really believing in them and like teaching them to believe in themselves, they're not going to end up in porn. If you have a dad that is like very involved, your daughter's not going to end up in porn. Like there's probably
Do you think you were in porn because you had daddy issues?
That's definitely an element.
Really?
It's so silly to say it's not. And I've said this before, which is like, it's such an easy like punchline, but like if you really think about it, a little girl that doesn't have a dad, like that's devastating. That is.
So was your dad not involved in your life?
No, he's a piece of shit.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry to hear that. No, I hate to hear that, because I mean, I'm not trying to rub in your face. I had two loving parents. So, and I'm an only child, so I'm saying I was showered with love. My parents competed for love of me. That's, I think, even though
You're very much an only child.
Exactly the way I act. But I'm saying I would never have known, like they had when my parents got divorced, it was called the Disneyland experience, where you'd go to like one house and your dad would be like showering you, oh, you want this, you want that, and my mom would do the same. So I was very loved. And but I hate to hear that about your dad, but you seem so well-rounded. So it's like, you're obviously very smart. You're obviously, did you go to college? Did you? Yes.
BA in psychology.
So you graduated from college? I mean, so you're obviously smart. So I guess, this is my last question, then we'll start talking about the animals. I'm addicted to animals. Did you have a high sexual engine, and then you're like, maybe I can make money for doing this? Or are you not even super sexualized or super sexual?
No, so the money part, everyone thinks that's the number one reason. I was thank God, I had 3 bartending jobs, so I was making way more money doing that.
You're attractive, and you can,
way more than like what the typical rates were for scenes. So when I started, they would try to lowball me a number, and I'm like, absolutely not.
What's a lowball number? $2,000?
You're not gonna even believe this.
What?
You're not gonna. So the series that you saw, this is like the dark side of the industry, because there's like corporate porn, and then there's Florida porn.
And when you say corporate porn, that's like Vivid. That's like a company.
That's Wicked. That's Digital Playground. That's
the famous
Reality
ones.
Kings, like the big names that you would recognize. And then there's like these little places that you probably should never go. So I've heard stories of girls like doing gangbangs for like $500, $200. It's so sad.
So they maybe just wanted to do the gangbang.
No, I think like it's people being in a really tough position and doing things that they don't want to like keep the lights on or to go get food. And that's not okay.
See, that's not okay.
That's not okay.
So would you be mad though if they made porn illegal?
Yes, because I'm like a freedom maximalist. I don't think the problem is porn. I think it's the institution. right?
Yeah.
So I think what OnlyFans has done that is actually a really good thing. It's decentralized the industry. So it's giving power back to the performers. They
You
own
think
the
OnlyFans
content.
is good though? But now all these 18-year-old girls
They were already doing it, and here's the difference. They were already doing it, and what they used to do, because I would see these, yes, they would go onto Craigslist, and they were called suitcase pimps. So they would put up an ad on suitcase pimps.
Yeah, you're talking about from Hot Girls Wanted how they would get girls. They'd put.
But that was real.
Yeah, but I know it was real. But they would put like acting gig or like modeling gig.
And then they'd get you into porn, and you'd get $200 for a scene that's out there forever. You probably like got defiled in some way that was like against whatever your boundaries were, but you're young and naive. Sometimes they're not even 18 when you're doing that for like those little companies.
What?
So OnlyFans is super strict when it comes to IDs. There's less illegal
OnlyFans
content.
is terrible for society.
Why do you?
Because so many young girls that wouldn't even thought about it, like Charlie Sheen's daughter.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen is a multimillionaire. Her mom is Denise Richards. She was a Bond girl.
Yeah.
But now Sammy Sheen is doing OnlyFans. It's not because she really has to, but she's very lucrative, which actually I applaud somebody that wants to work. I'm not going to hate on that. And you got to make money. Everybody has to make money in this economy that we live in. It's hard. So I'm not even hating on the grind. But Sammy Sheen is a daughter of a multimillionaire. She probably wouldn't be doing it if she didn't have such an easy, accessible app that she could just show pictures of her boobs and make $150,000 a month or whatever she makes.
You have to let your kids make their own choices, though. You know what I mean? And
You don't want your daughter to have an OnlyFans.
No, I mean, if I had a daughter, no. But I think you always want your kid to do better than you do. Like, that's a healthy parent, is you want your kid to surpass you in every way possible. And it's not to, like, hold them down or to lie to them. It would be lying. Like, if I were to say, yes, you go do that, it's going to be easy, you're going to be successful. Like, it is the hardest.
It is easy.
No, it's not. The
What?
average. So there are about.
Candace, showing your boobs is the easiest thing in the world.
Not to make money and actually have
Just
a
go
long.
like this. Look, I'm doing it right now. It's $3.99.
The average creator makes $1,200 a month on OnlyFans. That's it. If you're making big numbers, you are in like the 0.0001%. If you create longevity out of that, it's even less.
Wow, I see some girls that are like hogs and that have OnlyFans, and it'll say like, you know, because they'll comment and it'll be like in my For You page. Which like, do you think Twitter should have porn? I think they should ban porn on Twitter.
I think that there should be you agree to open it because there's violence there's like murder videos.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Why death and not pleasure?
Because we can learn from like them blowing up a bomb in, you know, Afghanistan or something. But like if a kid sees porn, they're going to be desensitized, and it may. And you know, porn has problems. Guys have erectile dysfunction.
That's not true. That's not true.
What do you mean?
Dr. Nicole Prousey has state-of-the-art research that's being ran out of California. She has debunked this. These papers are publicly available.
Oh, one crackpot doctor.
No.
They even say that the young kids. I'm not an expert. You've actually done more research than me, but they do say that guys have unreal sexual expectations from watching porn. That's true.
That is true. I'll give you that.
Trust me, my girlfriend doesn't want to be like all spread open and doing all weird stuff.
No, but again, that goes back to like deciding what's right in the bedroom for you. And for some people who have so much anxiety with their partner when it comes to sex, like this is where it can be a useful tool if both people agree to it. Like you can't shove porn down your partner's throat. That's not okay. Yeah. But you could be like, okay, both of us are uncomfortable. Maybe let her pick something, and then it will spice up your.
Do you watch porn? See, my girlfriend and I, if I try to do that, she would cut me with a knife.
Okay, and that's your relationship. That's not everyone's relationship.
I think that's every girl I've dated, though.
That's not true.
Every girl I dated said, "Hey, hon, I'm gonna put on, MILF Hunter or whatever. I'm trying to think of a porn." My girlfriend would leave my house. She would say,
"There are plenty of women that watch porn."
No.
Yes. Can you Google the number?
Yeah, Google the number. Women, I know they say women look at porn, but
okay, I just Googled it. It said one, and her name's Candace Horbach.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Obviously, some girls have looked at boobs or lesbian porn. I'm not saying it's like 0%, but it has to be overwhelmingly 90% men.
90% men, but then women are consuming it through erotica. And I don't know if you've ever read those books, but they are
50 Shades.
Nasty.
So we want to be in the story. So it's not that we are averse to erotica or anything that's like more adult based. It's just men are visual. So you guys watch porn, not you, but men watch porn, and then women, like, we want love and connection and like to be saved by the knight who's going to slay the dragon, and those books are filthy.
It's because girls live in fantasy land, that's why.
For sure.
My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself